Robert Kyr is a prolific American composer who's written 12 symphonies and more than 60 choral works. When he creates music, he leaves his home in Oregon and travels to remote northern New Mexico to the Monastery of Christ in the Desert on a semi-sacred mission to compose rapturous music that's inspired by this world of light, stone, stillness, and prayer.
I've been coming to the monastery for 17 years, and it's been an amazing journey for me. From the first time that I arrived, I felt that somehow I had come to a place that was my spiritual home.
Cut off from TV, internet, and cell phones, time follows a different rhythm here. The Benedictine monks are called to prayer 7 times a day. The monastery is a place of stark beauty and isolation, where monks in black habits pass their days in manual labor, study, and contemplation.
My name is Brother Christian. I'm a Benedictine monk of the Monastery of Christ in the Desert near Abiquiu, New Mexico. We live 13 miles down a dirt and gravel road off the main highway. So it's a remote place, but there's a saying that the deeper you go into the desert, the more you're sought out.
The music comes to Robert Kyr on long outings in the Mesa lands, where bands of orange, yellow, and red sandstone expose 200 million years of geologic history, and here along the winding Chama River, where hardwoods grow in the river bends.
These trees are my companions, and often I come out on this peninsula and sit here for hours and think about the piece that I'm composing and create music inwardly.
Composers are often drawn to nature. Mahler went to the high Alps, Brahms to a lake. Kyr pauses beside the rushing Chama.
While I'm hiking, I never stop to write anything down. Sometimes we'll sit along the river, but only later, usually in the deep night, and I mean usually from 10 p.m. until 2 or 3 in the morning. That's when I write it down.
Late summer is monsoon season in New Mexico. Thunder echoes off the river canyon and resonates inside the adobe chapel where the brothers gather for prayer at day's end. In a separate building late at night, Kyr brings the music he's composed in his head during his hikes to this small room with whitewashed walls and exposed beams. He works the damper pedal of a creaky old upright piano with the muddy boot and writes his music on staff paper with a sketching pencil. His lower jaw squares when he concentrates. Presently, Kyr is working on a commission to write 4 pieces for Conspirare, an acclaimed chamber chorus based in Austin, Texas. On this night, he's creating his 21st century response to a requiem by the great 16th century Franco-Flemish composer Josquin des Prez.
And what I did was to start with the lowest voice, use Josquin's melody, and expand upwards. So there's literally a crying out of the depths at the beginning of the piece. Here's what my melody sounds like that's based on the Josquin melody.
The pieces will be premiered by 20 singers at a choral festival in Austin in January.
When I'm composing, I don't really think about how other people will receive the work. I hope that my music has meaning for people and takes them to a place that otherwise they could not go.
A place of light and space and luminous beauty that Robert Kyr visits as often as possible.